Well, Fani Willis has been tenacious, no doubt about it. She has been a vigorous pursuer of justice in Georgia. But if you thought she was being harsh to the people that attempted a coup in her chunk of the United States, new reporting suggests that is not the case. Why? Because the grand jury that initially heard this case recommended a hell of a lot more people be indicted than actually were. The article is by Politico. Kyle Cheney and Josh Gerstein. Georgia panel urged criminal charges against Lindsey Graham and other Trump allies. I do wonder the nature of why they chose not to go after those charges. I'll do some wild speculation after this. A special grand jury convened by Georgia prosecutors recommended criminal indictments of Senator Lindsey Graham and a slew of other allies of Donald Trump who have not been charged by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, according to a report unsealed Friday. The special grand jury, which led a year-long investigation of efforts to subvert the 2020 election in Georgia, helped Willis compile a massive trove of evidence that she used to secure a sprawling indictment last month against Trump and 18 alleged co-conspirators, including Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, and others. But the special grand jury report, which was filed in December but had been largely kept confidential until Friday, shows that a majority of the panel urged her to indict a much wider array of figures linked to the effort. Now, here's the juicy piece. They include Graham, the South Carolina senator who came under scrutiny for his efforts to contact Georgia election officials after the election, former senators, thank God, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler of Georgia, Trump advisor Boris Epshteyn, former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, attorney Cleta Mitchell. Graham said Friday that he did nothing wrong, telling not Lindsey, telling local reporters in South Carolina that to suggest I'm part of some grand scheme to overturn the election makes no sense given my actions. He noted that he voted on January 6, 2021 to certify Joe Biden's victory over Trump. If you're curious about his actions, go ahead and click on the link in the description that is the full grand jury report. Wicked Foxy Dragon, thank you very much for sending that our way. Let me, though, jump in to this next part. Ugh. The special grand jury, a quirk of Georgia law, had no power to issue indictments but was required to make recommendations to Willis, who then pursued charges through a traditional grand jury. Trump and the other 18 defendants who were indicted on August 14th were all on the list identified by the special grand jury. The newly released report indicates that there was some dissent amongst the 23, and this is key, special grand jurors and 3 alternates assigned to hear evidence related to the election probe. The full article is in the description. By all means, go have a gander. But let's talk about what we just saw. So why didn't she? Why not charge them all? And why am I not hooting and hollering that she didn't? In my earlier coverage of these things, I would double and triple down on harshness, on kicking in the butt. Now I do not. Here's why. They're not ignoring this stuff. Before, there was serious concern that they were ignoring it. Now we have professionals professionally pursuing charges. We might have differing opinions after. We might have differing opinions when all is said and done, and yada, yada, yada. But right now they're in the process. Lindsey Graham is extraordinarily likely to get charged. The people who tried to interfere here are very unlikely to dodge responsibility completely. Understand that there are multiple criminal investigations surrounding this coup. Is it perfect? The real answer is I don't know. I just don't know. But the fact that some grand jurors there who are supposed to represent you and me largely, some of them weren't sure if some of those charges would fly in court were enough, tells me that Fani Willis was probably really, truly, and earnestly just presenting all of the evidence she had and what she believes it meant. And then after she got the grand jury report, taking a long time to look it over and deciding and decide who here do we have a 100% airtight case against. Because even if they have a not airtight case, but they can prove eventually that this, that, or the other thing happened, and they do eventually get a conviction, the arguments are going to take longer and longer and longer. Another thing to consider, she is likely trying to get this done. This tranche of, is that how that word is used? I watched The Big Short again recently. This group of indictments, she is likely trying to get that done before 2024 because we have a vested interest. You and I have a vested interest. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. The world has a vested interest in the U.S. finally policing conservatives in addition to the rest of its populace. So is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing that she didn't charge these folks? I don't know, but based on the rest of her behavior that I've been able to see and understand, I think it's probably good. I think it's probably practical, whatever it is. And does it mean that Lindsey Graham won't ever be charged in this? Hell no. No. If they wanted, they could do the entirety of the Trump indictment and then go back and be like, okay, well, we know Lady G was involved as well. Here's the Lady G trial. I'm deciding if I feel bad about that, keeping that rumor alive. I do. All right, withdrawn. I apologize. But yeah, they could get Lindsey later, and the rest of them. There's a ton of unindicted people, but they can take their sweet time once democracy is secure, and it really is that serious. Regardless, do understand that January 6th, we're not even really, we've just, as the saying goes, scratched the surface there. With Jack Smith et al., when that heats up, that is going to, the indictments there are going to read like a who's who list of Republicans in 2020. Not because the Republicans are in opposition to this, that, or the other thing, but because for a long damn time, because we've refused to apply the law to them, Republicans have been behaving like criminals. And now that we don't have a choice, now that Trump has officially drawn the line and said, if I get into power, this is turning into a dictatorship. Well, now we have to. He already tried. He already tried a coup because Republicans have not had the laws applied to them. So we cannot delay it anymore. And now everybody who just thought things would go on as normal and they'd get to keep on breaking the laws, now suddenly they're going to be facing a judge. Let's see what you all have to say.